so excited for this video. I was not planning on filming, but as soon as I started putting this together, I was like, I need to sit down and film this right now. So I quick got ready and I'm so excited. So today I am going to be tier ranking book couples based on how long I think they'd stayed together after the epilogue. So Riley from Riley Marie did this video a couple of weeks ago, and when I saw it, I loved it. It was so funny. I loved seeing how she ranked, especially she ranked the Ice Planet Barbarians. She ranked the first couple, I think it was, and she was like, you cannot tell me that, because at first I was like, I think like they'd probably make it, and then she's like, you could not tell me that if a ship showed up and offered these women a way home that they wouldn't take it, and I was like, facts. So go check out Riley's video. I'll link it down below. And when we were on a live recently, she was saying that she would love to see other people's takes on it. So that's what I'm going to do today. Every single book that I'm going to be ranking today are books that you guys gave to me. I asked on my Instagram, in my Instagram story, asking for couples, and y'all gave them to me. So every single book on this list that I'm going to be ranking is ones that you guys requested, except for one. There was one that I had to put in here because I had seen a TikTok like about this, just like talking about couples that wouldn't make it past the epilogue months ago, and then I was kind of starting to think, I'm like, oh, who would not make it on my list? And this couple popped into my head right away, and I was like, they are getting a divorce. So I did put them on this list. I put their book on this list, but otherwise everything else are ones that you guys requested for me. I definitely can do a part 2 if you're interested. You can drop more book couples and books down below for me to rank. I did get a couple that I haven't read before, so I did have to leave those off. But anyways, let's walk through the categories that I have over here. Okay, so here is my little budget version that we have. Once again, if you watched my ranking video of the books that I've read for the first third of the year, I explained to you why I can't figure out these freaking tier ranking websites. So I make my own in Canva. So once again, we have a budget version that I created. I only did 4 categories for this one. I didn't really think that I needed 5. So we have literally soulmates. I did make this one the biggest category, mostly because without having 5, they weren't like evenly spaced. But I'm thinking that I'm probably going to have the most in soulmates because I am a hopeless romantic. Like, I want people to be in love and together. The next category, probably. Like, I probably think they're gonna stay together. You know, they're not like soulmates, but like they'll probably stick it out. Third category, I wouldn't bet on it. I am not betting on this couple. I mean, they could make it, they might, but I'm not placing my bet on that. And lastly, Call the Lawyers. So now if we scroll down here, so these are all of the books that you guys wanted me to rank. So we're just gonna go through them one by one and let's jump in. So the book that I easily got the most responses to for this video was Sweet Dandelion, because it is like my all-time favorite standalone romance book. I love it. And if you think that Danny and Lachlan are going anywhere except for literally soulmates, you would be wrong. These two, they're soulmates. And it's not even just because I love this book so much. They truly, everything that they go through in this book, they even just take the time to know that each other is really the one that they want to be with forever. Like, it's true, it's soulmates. Soulmate fucking material. Next up, I got Recent Favorite from ACOTAR. So this one is kind of tricky because this and some of the other like Sarah J. Maas ones are kind of tricky because they're literally mates. And like, yes, even if they weren't mates, I would still put Recent Favorite soulmates, but like they literally are soulmates. So I feel like that they can't go anywhere else except for literally soulmates. And also I just love them so much. Next up, once again, we have Aelin and Rowan. Okay, again, they are literal soulmates. Nothing is coming between those two ever, 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 forever and always. They will always be together. Okay, and then someone asked about a lead in Lorcan from the Throne of Glass series. So they don't come into play until Empire Storms, which is why I put this book cover for them, because they're not like leading characters, but like this is the book where the majority of their romance takes place. This might be, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would put soulmates. I'm gonna go, probably. I think they'd probably make it, but like, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything at the end of the book, but you know, I could just see 10 years down the line when there's no war that they might get kind of sick of each other. I don't know. I think they'd probably make it. But next up we have Tate and Miles from Ugly Love, and I'm putting them in Call the Lawyers. I love Colleen Hoover. I love this book, but you can't convince me that these two would make it. Okay, I don't think. They are not long-term. They're not long-term, okay? And this is the one that I put in here myself. I put in The Initiation by Nikki Sloan because I have said since I read this book that these two would be getting a divorce, and that is Marius and Royce, and they are 1,000% divorcing each other. Call the lawyers. They are having affairs behind each other's backs. Marius is maybe hooking up with McAllister again, and there's just literally zero way in my mind that these two make it till death together, unless if they literally kill each other. Like there's nothing there. There's nothing there except for money and them both being hot. Okay, next up is what are there? Charlie and Emerson from Praise by Sarah Kate. So I loved this book, but I'm not betting on the two of them making it, if I'm being honest. I think what Riley said with like a lot of the boyfriend's dad's tropes, like these young girls then with these older men, and like would they want to be with these crusty dusty old men at the end of the day. Certain cases, I do think so. Charlie and Emerson, I don't. I think they are having a fun time together, and I think they will really like have fun together for a while, but I really think 10 years down the line, their fun has run out, their relationship has fizzled, and yeah, I don't think they'd make it. I mean, I don't think that it's like a for sure fire divorce. I would not put my money on the two of them making it. And then another Salacious Players Club, we got Eyes on Me. So this one is Garrett and Mia. And again, I think I'm gonna put it in I wouldn't bet on it. So here's the thing, I do think that they maybe have a better chance of making it because okay, this is gonna sound a little weird, but they're step siblings. So I do think that before they like full on dived into their relationship, they knew that like the whole family dynamic would really change if they broke up. And I do think they've really had like a long time spent together of all this chemistry building and all this tension burning, that I do think that it would sustain them for a while. But do I think that like, again, 10, 15 years down the road that they're still gonna be like as into each other as they are now? I just don't know. I loved the book, but I again would not place my money on Garrett and Mia making it long term. Now, besides Sweet Dandelion, I got like the most of Rhea and Kova requests because again, y'all know Rhea and Kova are my babies, and not even just because they're my babies are they getting soulmates. This series is the definition of soulmates, okay? You cannot convince me that Rhea and Kova were not made for each other, and they worked for their relationship. They faced so many trials that they had to overcome throughout the course of their relationship that if they could make it through the 5 books, they can make it through literally anything. They have so much mutual love and respect for each other. They are 1,000% soulmates. 1,000%. No question, no ifs, ands, or buts. They are taking each other to the grave. Okay, I did get asked for Credence. So spoiler alert for Credence ahead. So if you have not read this book and you don't want to know, Tiernan does explore a relationship with 3 different men in this book, and she does pick one in the end. It's not a reverse harem. So if you don't want to know who she picks here, skip ahead like a minute because I have to spoil it right here. Have you skipped ahead? Okay. Tiernan and Caleb, call the lawyer. I don't think that they are making it. I really don't. I love this book, but truly I can't see like them at like Thanksgivings together or Christmases together years and years down the line, also with like Jake and Noah. I really think I think they would have a good run, but I don't think they are making it long term. Next is Haunting Adeline. So that is Adeline and Zaid. So if you would have asked me with just the first book out, Call the Lawyers, there was no way in hell that they were making it together, in my opinion. Then Hunting Adeline, the sequel and the like end to their story came out, and now I still don't think that they're soulmates, but I would put down like that I would think that they're going to stay together. Like they most likely are going to stay together. They just faced so much in that second book together. Truly, I can't see them like anything breaking them apart after that second book. Do I think that they're soulmates? No. But I do also think that they'd live to have like a long, happy marriage. Okay, now we have, I got asked for a few of the Fallen Men couple in particular, and then I got some that were just like all of the Fallen Men couples, so I just ended up doing all of them. So the first one, Lessons in Corruptions. Some people are gonna be mad. I do think this is hard because Gianna Darling, I truly think that she writes soulmates, and I do think that all of the Fallen Men couples are like really great for each other, and I love all of their romances. but I don't know. I don't want to put them all in soulmates. That's boring. And also, like, do I think I'll put King and Crescent in? Probably. They were bordering on going down one, but here's the thing. Their love was so instant and so bright and so like explosive that like, is that going to carry on long term? And then with the shit that King pulled in After the Fall, I feel like, does Crescent not have any sort of like animosity about what he put her through? I would. So I don't know. I'd say they're probably gonna make it, but they're not soulmates. And we have Zeus and Lou in Welcome to the Dark Side, and I do think that they are soulmates. If you've read that book, you just know how long that relationship and like that they have like a strong friendship foundation that they built. I truly do think that no one was there for Lou like Zeus was. So I do think that I think that they're soulmates. Danner and Harley Rose, one of my favorite books in this series, but I don't know. Probably I think they'd stay together. I think after like all that happened between the two of them that they probably would make it. Nova and Lila from Inked and Lies, soulmates. They're the #1 soulmates, I think, out of the entire Fallen Men series. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. Lila and Nova are soulmates. And Dead Man Walking, being Priest. Okay, I love this book. I love this couple. This one's hard. I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like Gianna Darling, she writes, I feel like I'm not being harsh enough, but I do just feel like she does write like soulmates. So like they'd probably make it, but also I feel like, what is their relationship long lasting? With Priest, I don't know. You know what? We're gonna do it. I wouldn't bet on it. I think that they could make it. I don't know. I don't know if I see it long term. I don't know if I do. I love them. I love them together. And she does just write good soulmates, but okay, we just gotta move on. I might change that. Next up, we have The Words by Ashley Jade. And so this one is Lennon and Phoenix, and I think that they are soulmates. They have been through so much over the course of that book, and they've known each other for so many years, and they've been apart, they've been together, they have seen like highs and lows for both of them, not just like one of them, but both of them have had highs and lows together, and they still have always come out stronger than they were to start with. I genuinely think that they are soulmates. I think it is also like the if you love someone, let them free, and like if they come back to you kind of deal, even though it wasn't necessarily like that, but you know, I feel like it was along those vibes. Ava and Alex, again, is this biased because it is my favorite book from Anna Huang? Well, it's not my favorite. Twisted Hay is my favorite book, but Ava and Alex are my favorite couple out of the Twisted series. And I mean, is it biased that I think that they are soulmates? Probably, but I do also think that I just now, Twisted Games, this is Reese and Bridget, I'm gonna put this in probably. Okay, and here's kind of the reason why. They literally went up against a country to be together because because Bridget is a queen. I do think that like once you do that, you're kind of stuck together. Like, I don't think you're getting a divorce after that. So yeah, I'd say like they're probably gonna stay together, but do I think they're soulmates? No. Okay, Josh and Jules. I love Josh and Jules. This is my favorite book in the Twisted series. But I do think that when you start off hating each other as much as they did, and that that line between hate and love is very, very thin, as seen in their book, I think it's also thin to flip-flop back the other way, okay? I love Josh and Jules, and I do not want them to get a divorce. I hope that they live happily ever after, and in my mind, they do. But if I'm thinking of this objectively, do I think that they could flip-flop back over into hate territory? Yes. In Twisted Lies, which is the last book, Christian and Stella, like probably, I think they're like good. They were like good together. They're definitely not soulmates to me. I don't see them getting a divorce, mostly because I don't see Christian ever letting her go. They're probably gonna stay together. Then we have The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, divorce. Rowan and Zara, like there's no way she's putting up with his ass. She should call the lawyers, get her money, and dip, okay? He is not worthy of her. 1,000%. Zara, I'm rooting for you. Get out, get your money, and get out. Okay, now again, so I was asked about all the Devil's Night series couples, and again, these are like this is my favorite like companion series. You know, like Balance is my favorite like one couple series. This is like my favorite companion series. So this is tricky, but I don't want to put them all in soulmates, even though I think I could make a case for them all to be. But I think out of all of the couples, Michael and Rika, I think would, I don't know. Michael, he came a long way over the course of the series. Okay, he really did. But I think if I'm talking about all the couples, this and one other couple are two that I could see out of all of them not making it. I just think Michael is not the best at like expressing himself, and I do think that Rika could do better. I also think I just need to do a reread on that, but you know, whatever. Okay, Hideaway, Kai and Banks, soulmates, baby. Fucking soulmates. My favorite couple out of the whole Devil's Night series. I love Kai, I love Banks, I love them together, I love them individually, and I think, again, they are great individually on their own, and they have like a love and respect for themselves and for each other, and just seeing them work through their problems together, again, like past and present timeline, it was just so good. And the other ones that are for sure soulmates are Damon and Winter. Okay, there's nothing that will bring them apart. Nothing at all. Damon would go to the ends of the earth for Winter, and Winter would do the same for him, and yeah, no question. Okay, but then we got Will and Emery, and this is the other couple. I wouldn't bet on it, okay? I do love them. I like them together, but do I think that long-term, I don't know. I'd like to think that all the Devil's Nights couples stay together forever and ever and ever, and like they do in my mind, but if I had to choose like two of them that I thought might not, it's those. Okay, next up we got the Mindfuck series by S.T. Abby. So this is Lana and Logan. So Lana is a serial killer, which normally, kind of like how Riley said, like any of the like serial killers, like are you actually gonna stay together? This, I think, is my exception. I think Lana and Logan knows who Lana is as a person, and obviously, as we see in the epilogue, he respects it. And he also helps her out with that. So I think there's no way that these two are breaking up. And also I don't think Lana is like an evil serial killer. You know, she had her reasons, and I supported her every step of the way. I don't think that they would ever get a divorce. I do genuinely think that they are like perfect for each other, and that they love each other, and that they know like the worst about each other. They've accepted that, and they go on with their lives. Okay, Henry and Abby from the Wolf Hotel series. So I loved this series. This was so freaking good, and I was obsessed. But, I would not bet on it. I don't know. It's just the vibe that I get, okay? I don't think that they're soulmates, and I don't know if I would bet on them staying together forever and ever. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, Garrett and Hannah from The Deal. So here's the thing. Before I read The Legacy, I would have been like, fucking soulmates. And then what did Elle Kennedy do with them in that? So I'm going to go with probably, I genuinely don't know at this point. Like that epilogue was so weird for them. So I don't know. I do really like them together, and I think that they would have like a future together. But I wouldn't say like 100% anymore that they are soulmates. The Mistake with Logan and Grace. So granted, even though this is my favorite book, again, I don't feel like soulmates, you know? I feel like they'd probably make it. I do genuinely think that they would, but I don't know if I'm feeling soulmates. Now, Allie and Dean from The Score, I would not bet on it. I know this is everyone's favorite book, favorite couple, whatever. It's not mine, and I don't think that Dean and Allie, you know what? I think I might even put, you know what? They're gonna go and call the lawyers. I genuinely don't get the thing between these two, and I think that they would not last long term. I don't think they have what it takes to make it work long term. I don't. And then The Goal, Sabrina and Tucker. Again, I do genuinely think that they came a long way, and I definitely could, you know what, maybe they should go in. I wouldn't bet on it, because I could see them staying together, especially since they have children. I do think that they would really try to make it work, especially like Tucker, I think, would really try to make it work. But I just wonder if Sabrina one day isn't gonna wake up when like her kids are in high school and be like, I really, like when they don't have their daughter or like their kids to bond them together anymore. You know what? I think we're going to put them and call the lawyers. Because think about this. If they did not have a kid, there's no way that they would have been together. They stayed together for their kid. So once that kid is older and like that kid doesn't need them to be like together all the time, do they have enough between them to like bond them? I don't think so. I love them. I'd love to see them last, but I think we're going to probably put it in Call the Lawyers. Okay, next up we got Remo and Serafina from Twisted Pride, my favorite, and the Kimura Chronicles. They're fucking soulmates. Okay, they are soulmates. And yes, they're in the Mafia. Yes, their romance started out with him kidnapping her. Yes, they were from rival families. But this is an instance where I truly think that these two, they are just like perfect for each other. They are perfectly matched in like wit, intelligence, everything. They match each other perfectly, and I truly couldn't see them ever getting a divorce or ever being with other people at all. Okay, next up we have Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. So this one is Leon, and what is her name? I never can remember her name. Jeez, okay, whatever. He's a literal demon, so I'm going to call the lawyers. Like, I do love them together, and I love this book, but he's a literal demon. Lawyers. Now, this one's tricky, the love hypothesis. We have Adam and Olive, because this is Reylo fan fiction, so it is so hard for me in my head to think about this without thinking about Reylo and how just still pissed I am at J.J. Abrams for the end of Rise of Skywalker. Like, it makes me so angry. I genuinely like think about that all the time and then just get so upset. Okay, but I know that this is not Reylo. This is Adam and Olive, so I need to think about this objectively. And do I think that from this book, I would say I'm gonna go with probably. I do think that they will probably be together. I do think that Adam's had this crush on Olive forever. So I think that now that he has her, he's not letting her go. And I do think that Olive like genuinely loves him. And I do think that they can make it work long term. Like they have enough of a base of a relationship to make it work. But I mean, I would love to put them in soulmates. I really would. But I do think that probably if it was just straight up Reylo, soulmates, and fuck you, J.J. Abrams. Okay, now we got Ecstasy by KV Rose. Straight up divorce, babes. Call the lawyers. There is no way in hell that these two are staying together. Literally none. Literally no chance. No chance. You can't even convince me that these two ever even got like engaged after this. Maybe they got engaged and then they had a tumultuous engagement. Maybe they had like a wedding planned on like some tropical island and it was gonna be like this whole big party thing, and then they canceled it like 2 weeks before and they didn't get a refund for their money. Cora and Dean from Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman, they are soulmates. I think they were soulmates before The Basement, and I think they that just like solidified it, that they finally just realized for themselves that they were soulmates. Like, yes, it was like a hate to love kind of deal because they were enemies before they were kidnapped together, but I don't think that they would ever cross back over into that hate territory after everything that they went through. I think they are for sure soulmates. And again, like literally with all that they've been through, there's nothing that's coming between the two of them. Then you guys asked for the Addicted series. Okay, Lily and Lo. I feel like these are kind of easy. Okay, they're going into soulmates. Then let's just grab Connor and Rose again. They are soulmates. And let's grab Reich and Daisy again. Soulmates. Soulmates across the board. I think it's hard to read 10 books following these 6 people and just not feel like by the end of them that they all are truly soulmates. I'd say out of all of them, if I had to rank them in terms of like soulmates to like not as much soulmates, I would definitely say I think Lily and Lo, no matter what, like they were ride or die for each other from the very beginning. And I think that no matter what, they would always be together and that they were always meant to be together. Connor and Rose, obviously they're my favorite, but I do think that Lily and Lo just like are like a little bit more soulmates. And Reich and Daisy, love them, but I think they'd be like towards the bottom of soulmateness out of all the couples. But those 3, you can't convince. They are literally, nothing's coming between any of them. Next, we have Christian and Gianna. I wouldn't bet on it. I don't know. I loved them together. They were great together, but I wouldn't bet on it. And then Mila and Ronan, call the lawyers. I think when you kidnap someone, okay, can I say that when I literally put Remo and Serafina in soulmates? I think it's just different. I don't think that, I don't know. Remo and Serafina just have that like it factor between the two of them, where like Ronan and Mila, I think that after they would have like a hot, passionate affair type moment, and then it would fizzle out and she would be like, yeah, no, I don't want to be here with you anymore, and she would leave him. So call the lawyers. And he would probably like hunt her down and try to find her again, and then she would like slap him and send him away. Okay, we're down to our final 3. So Birthday Girl, I think this is the exception of my dad's or like ex's dad age gap kind of deal. I do genuinely think that Pike and Jordan are soulmates. I think this like slow burn, and again like the friendship that they built throughout the book gave them a strong enough foundation. And I do think that there was resolution between Pike and whatever the son's name was, that I do actually think that they would like make it work long term. That I don't necessarily think Charlie and Emerson like have that foundation. And I feel like their romance is a bit more focused on like the physical side of their relationship, where I do think Jordan and Pike, without even the physical side of their relationship, they're still like just like a good match for each other. So I think they are soulmates. I love them. Then we have Emmerich and Ivory from Dark Notes. They are soulmates. They both had to go through so much shit to get to each other. Once they found each other, they're not letting each other go, and you can't convince me otherwise. There's nothing that will ever come between the two of them. The bond that the two of them have, unbreakable. And last one up here, we have Draco and Hermione and Manacled. And I mean, if you've read Manacled, you know that if that isn't the truest test of love, or like what your relationship has to go through in order to make it out on the other side, and like the lengths that you're willing to go for the other person that you love, bitch, if anyone put them in any other category, I'd like to have a conversation, because I don't feel like we read the same book then. Out of all of these couples up here, I think like they are the like soulmates of the soulmates. Okay, this looks good here. Let's check this over. Is there anything that we want to move? Did I get too harsh? I think, like, I feel like this, like, Dead Man Walking, these four, I'm kind of like, am I too harsh on them? But also, like, not everyone is gonna make it, you know? Like, divorce rates are high. So I think just the hard thing is about, like, these couples themselves, like, it's the writing. It's the way that the authors wrote them that makes it harder for me to like not bet on them. Like I said, Gianna Darling just writes soulmates. I think that's just what she does. It's what she's great at. Same with Josh and Jules. I just like, I loved their romance so much, and I think because it like took so long for them to get to the good, that makes me want to like bet on them. But also, I do just think that line between love and hate is so thin, and like how easily could they flop back over to the other side of it. Recon Michael. I feel like actually that's kind of fair. Same with Will and Emery. Down here, yep, divorce babes. Maybe, no, divorce. Lawyers are gonna be making lots of money off of y'all. Most of the money off of you guys. Yeah, you know what? I feel pretty confident. I feel pretty confident about this list. So that is the end of this video. That's all that I have to rank today. If you guys want to see a part 2, then make sure that you leave me any other book couples down below. Let me know if there's anything that I ranked that you were like, hell no, that is not where it belongs. Let me know what like your opinion would have been on some of them. But yeah, that is it for today, and I will see you when I see ya.